In the previous video, I talked about doing arithmetic operations, and now I'd like to talk about comparisons. So let's go ahead and set up some variables that allow us to do that. Let I Monday sales of donuts equal to 1,000, and let I Tuesday sales equal 1,100. All right, and as it relates to comparisons, we can use things like the double equal sign, less than, greater than. We can do something that's a triple equal sign. We can do a not equal sign, just saying instead of two equals, it's just the opposite. Instead of two things being compared to see if they're exactly equal, we can see if they're not equal to each other. All right, so those are some of the operators that we'll work with now just to see what they do. And what they do is they evaluate true or false when we do a comparison. So if I do I Monday sales, is it exactly equal to I Tuesday sales? And the response that we get back is false. And if we wanted to, if I were to click up for a second and surround this by parentheses, this is typically how we do comparisons. This would come back again as false, the exact same thing. Okay, so we just made a comparison using variables. We don't have to use variables. We can use literal values. So I could say, is 10 exactly equal to 10? Yes, it is. Is 10 greater than 20? No, it's not. Is 10 less than 20? That is true. Is 10 not equal to 20? So that's an interesting little form of logic there, but oftentimes we do operators that way just to test if two things are not equal to each other, and we can get back a true or a false value. We could also do the same type of thing with a Boolean value. So in fact, we could actually return a value as a variable from doing one of these comparisons. So let's just say let's say Boolean left number bigger equals 10 is greater than 20. And so this evaluates to true or false, and let's see what is contained in that variable. I'll say console.log be left number bigger, and it comes back as false. So that's one way we can do that. We could also just take that and use it within its own test, which is b left number bigger exactly equal to true, and in this case it came back as false. We already knew that one was false. All right, so that's a quick little tour of the basics of comparisons. One interesting type of comparison that we can do in JavaScript that we may not see in other languages is the ability to use three equal signs. So if I do 10 is exactly equal to 10, yes it is 10, and then triple equal to 10, it's still true. So what's the difference here? Well, actually let's restate this. Is 10 exactly equal to, and then put this in quotes. So what happened here between this one and this one is, in this case we compared two numbers. Same thing as there. When we put on the third equal sign, we're saying, are they the same value and are they of the same type? And the answer is they are the same value, but they're not the same type. This is considered to be a string in this case because it's got the double quotes around it. And this one is just considered to be a regular number. And talking about comparisons this way and asking about, well, what's the true nature of something, leads me on to talk about another operator that we have, and it's comparable to plus and minus, but in this case it doesn't look like a plus or a minus. It's the word type of. So let's go ahead and experiment with that a little bit. So first off, let's see if we have anything that's been set up above. We have a Boolean value up here. So let's try that. Type of space b left number bigger, and that came back as Boolean. All right, let's do let I num 1 equal to 10, and we'll do type of I num 1, and we see that came back as a number. What if we had I num 1 equal to a decimal? And I do that, it's still a number. So at least in terms of this type of operator, it continues to always come back as a number. How about a string? Let string first name equal Dagan, and then type of s first name, and we see that it comes back as a string. All right. That sums up this portion of talking about comparisons and a little bit of an introduction to the type of operator, and I'll see you in the next video.